So Alex Becker is officially back on the meme coin launch train. And honestly, I'm in two minds. Either I'm going to print 7 figures off this launch if it's going to replicate even 1% of what Trump did. If it's going to get to that $700 million market cap, we can literally print 7 figures by being ahead of everyone else. But I'm also skeptical because there's a massive update that he put out there. And I'm like, honestly, it sounds like you're trying to dull the whole effect and the whole market cap of this entire launch. So I'm going to discuss my thoughts on both sides of the fence, how we'll play it in order to try and make that 7 figures, but also why I'm starting to get a little bit skeptical and potentially what I would do to fix it. So let's start with this post that came out on Jan 20, 2 days ago. Becker says, attention retards. There's a meme update, like for cool points. We'll be talking a lot about cool points in this video. The last week I have been working with my meme coin launch team on the structure of the drop. This I believe was actually supposed to drop around Christmas Day. We were solving the ciphers and the riddles inside of our inner circle, and we sort of had a Christmas Day drop time picked up in a few of the clues. But I think he kicked it down the road just legally. Also, memes really died off at the end of December. And as he said on his Twitter before, he wants to launch his meme into a bullish market. If you do that, this thing has really no ceiling, especially since Trump moved everyone's mimetic ceilings by having an $80 billion token launched in a day. Now, all of a sudden, $1 billion doesn't sound that crazy for any meme coin. But he says he's been quiet for a while he makes it possible. I'll be announcing the rough schedule and the next cipher contest later today, as well as how to be one of the whitelisted wallets. This is what we're going to talk about, how to get your wallet whitelisted for this drop. But pro tip, getting on the whitelist will require speed, which we're going to go through, which is basically waiting for him to post a form and being able to click on that form and submit your Solana address. It's on Solana before everybody else. And also being cool, which once again, I'll talk to you what that means. Following/paying attention is advised. See you later today.a. Now he's been doing this where he puts little letters after a full stop at the end of his tweets. It's probably going to end up spelling something. We don't need to dive too deep into this specific clue because we're going to go for more of a overview of exactly what's going on. And as I said, Trump's coin has really changed a lot of people's feelings and thoughts. So it's basically down 50% from its all-time high. Hit about an $82 billion fully diluted value. Melania Trump launched after Donald did. Currently at a $4 billion fully diluted. Let's see what it's down from its all-time high. If we go up to here, 13. So it's 1/3. So I mean, it hit a 12 to 13 billion fully diluted value. Guys, these numbers were insane. You would have been like, no, of course meme coins aren't going to go that high, especially in a day. Well, the Trumps made everybody in the whole culture shift. And even like looking at other tokens that I like UFD or even SPX, I'm like, oh, it's still under like 10 bill. Oh, there's so much upside left. And that's sort of like the vibe that I'm feeling out there in the market at the moment, is that we're now waiting and starting to count in tens of billions. Now, someone like Andrew Tate, who has really burned out his list, he's one of the biggest influencers, most Google men in the world, but he's had so many crypto pumps that his audience jump on for a quick 2 to 10x. I've made a bit of money doing that sort of stuff. Back when he hadn't really promoted many tokens, this was only his third token he promoted, I think, it hit a $214 million market cap. And why am I showing you this? Because this is how high someone like Andrew Tate can push a token. You see Trump can go to 80 bill, Tate can go to 240 mil. I'm trying to give you a gauge on how high do you think someone like Alex Becker, who has, if we have a look, 1.2 million followers on Twitter. On YouTube, he has 1.56 million followers, but he's also known as one of the crypto gods, the golden god Papi KOL. So he has a little bit more pull than if he was just some random celebrities. But here's a random celebrity launched one, Iggy Azalea. It's called the Mother Coin. Don't buy it. It's now down to $18 million market cap, but a $260 million market cap she launched it up to on launch. And I actually think her and Tate actually hit the 300s if we were to zoom in and go back in time. And so I want you to sort of set the bar of like, how high do we think this is going to go? And Becker says it's likely going to hit 9 figures, $100 million market cap. And I would agree. I think it would hit 9 figures, pending one thing, which I'm going to discuss in this video for you. And so if you can get allocation and it does hit that $100 million level, you can print 6 figures. And if you play really hard, 7 figures, if he allows you to play really hard in a matter of hours. It is possible. Really hard. Obviously, it's a player versus player, and you're going to have to take it off someone else and beat someone else to the punch. So it's possible you can lose your money too. We're going to discuss all of that. This is desync. Why do I have desync here? Well, basically, there's 2 reasons. I want to come back to this. They've got 47,000 holders, and this is Crypto God John and Alex Becker is one of their most highest conviction plays in the AI niche. And they only have 50,000 holders currently. Trump absolutely shattered records at 800,000 holders now. But I want to show you this because I'm going to show you how many holders someone like Becker has, but also it's at a $305 million market cap. And a lot of that is to do with people like John and Becker. So I do believe he can pump his meme up into the hundreds of millions, but I think he does need to add some future promises, value, something to look forward to. Again, we'll talk more about that in a second. This is the big breakdown that he did. And this is what's got me skeptical, to be honest. And I'm actually curious on your thoughts on that. So please comment below if you have any meaningful thoughts. If you have no idea what you're talking about, I don't want to hear. But if you have intellectual thoughts and you actually know something about launches like this and tokenomics, please comment down below. I'm very curious to read this. So he says, meme coin drop update. Like, share, comment for cool points. My goal has been to do the fairest meme launch ever. This is where I start to get skeptical. His number one goal is the fairest meme launch. It's not the biggest launch. It's not the craziest launch. It's not the most profitable launch, it's the fairest launch. That's the start of my skepticism. This takes a bit of planning, hence my recent silence. No more. I've partnered with Meteora AG, which is how we know it's going to be on Solana, and also he's asked for the Solana addresses for people who've solved the cipher in the past, and the kinks are unkinked. This is how this will work. Sometime in late February, there you are if you're looking for a date, we will just drop an entry form out of nowhere. He likes to use Google Forms in the past. So I'm guessing it's going to be a Google Form link that he just puts on his Twitter sometime in late Feb. It'll be on his Twitter. It'll be a main post, so it's not going to be a reply. If you click/enter anything before that, you're going to lose money, guys. Don't buy anything ever. Like until Becker has triple confirmed. There's a triple confirmation that I'm going to show you on how to buy it. A lot of people are going to fall for scams. A lot of people already have fallen for scams and lost thousands of dollars. So don't be silly. Becker's not asking for any money. In fact, he's going to be airdropping this for free. In the event that he gets hacked, the form will require no wallet connections or funds. So if you post something and inside the post it says connect your wallet, it's a scam. It means his Twitter's been hacked and someone has posted there to try and drain your wallet. I'd pay close attention to my content on YouTube and here on Twitter, as I will leave hints on the form drop time. Again, all we're looking for now is what time does that form drop, because you don't even know where the form goes. You don't even know if it's Google that hosts it or another form provider hosts it. Literally, if you're there the second that it drops, you click on it, you paste your Phantom or your Solana or even your Archie. Archie back here is our crypto wallet on Solana that you can use inside of Telegram. You paste that address in and you've basically registered to get your free airdrop. We'll then collect an undecided amount of wallets, probably between 5 and 15,000. So we're going to say it's going to have 10,000 people, as you could effectively call it, whitelisted for this launch, which is sort of borrowing from the NFT sort of culture back in 2021. People that are cool will have a cooler time than those that are uncool. If there was only a way to ensure coolness. Now I've got a post up here. Full breakdown in the first comment. Congratulate the winner and rack up cool points by liking and commenting. I don't know if this is real. I don't know if this is engagement farming, but he is insinuating, because he always posts things on Twitter and says, if you want cool points, retweet it or comment it below, which does really well because he gets more exposure on his posts. If they have an AI or some form of mechanism to be able to track who is liking and engaging, which is possible because his entire business, Heros, is tracking ads off of Facebook. So it is possible they have something like that. I need to see more evidence that they're going to use it, but they say that the cooler you are, the more cool points you are, the more likely it is that you're going to get chosen, because these wallets will have the meme dispersed equally. So you're not going to get more, you're going to get the more chance to get chosen if you're quick and you have cool points. Honestly, I think it's going to be the first 10,000 wallets. I don't think it's going to be the first 10,000 wallets crossed with a variable of how many cool points you've had from retweeting tweets. Take my advice with a grain of salt. I don't know very much at all. But if you think otherwise, obviously go retweet and comment everywhere, and you'll probably out-earn me if it actually is true. He says, you will then be able to come at your leisure to the Solana blockchain on Solana and pick up your allocation. It is 100% free. You're not buying the token. If you're one of the early, say 10,000 people who sign up to this whitelist, you're going to get these tokens allocated to the wallet that you left in the form 100% free outside the gas, which Solana gas is nothing. It'll be pennies, $1 maximum, which you will have to cover. It should be very, very cheap. It will be very, very cheap. We have ways to prevent this from being gamed. Basically, can you have AI submit 300 wallets or 3,000 wallets and you get 30% of the supply? Possible. He says that they have AI defense waiting to combat your AI attack, but I'm also going to be looking into doing all AI stuff. I'm skeptical and I'm a rule breaker. And to be honest, I think it'll work out in the end. But anyway, I'll keep you in the loop with that. It'll be first come, first serve. This is what I think. Entry will depend on how fast you are plus how cool you are. Hence why the people that watch/collect hints will reign supreme. There is also cipher and mini allocations. I believe there's 8 ciphers and 100 mini allocations, or 10 ciphers and 100 mini allocations. The big ones, the ciphers, Becker is predicting, no guarantees, would be worth about 6 figures, and the 100 mini ones worth about 5 figures. I'm going to talk about what my thoughts are on that in a second, but basically, very possible if this is going to play out the way he thinks it's going to play out. I want to show you why I'm skeptical in just a sec once we have all the context. Leading up to the drop, I'll be hosting challenges, and by solving those riddles, you can earn basically a super allocation. Instead of just a whitelist, you're going to get a mini reward or a cipher reward, which are way bigger than just being whitelisted for them. Because the whitelist, they're going to have the, the meme coin dispersed to them equally. So it's going to be the smallest allocation. And it's going to be free. Please note those 2 points. Okay, this part all here is basically he's going to verify the token on his Twitter, on his YouTube, and Meteor is going to confirm it as well. And there's no rush, and you don't need to FOMO if you're on the whitelist because your coins are reserved. You have to go and claim them. But don't be going crazy and hooking your wallets up to things that are just going to drain your wallet. He's going to confirm. Once you've got your Phantom wallet or your Archie wallet or your Solana wallet inside that Google form, you have that allocation set aside for you. The only thing you're rushing for is if this token falls off a cliff and you want to claim your allocation and sell as quickly as possible. We'll probably add more fail steps, la 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 la. Becker is not personally going to be profiting or holding this coin. He's going to launch a nuclear bomb and go off in a bush and laugh at the chaos. And if it is a nuclear bomb, that is the one that is going to hit the $100 million, maybe $300 million level. It could be a little bit of a fizzle. It could be less than that based on this post. And let me get into that now. Let me just make sure that there's no, I want to read this to you and then I'll tell you why I think this could be more of a fizzle than Becker's anticipating based on his new update. Becker's overall goal with this launch, let me get this in green because this is the most important part, is to absolutely rub every prior meme coin fair launch face in the mud and make the fairest meme coin launch of the year to set a new standard for the industry. No whales, no insiders. There's some insiders if we're talking about the cipher hints, the 10 cipher hints and the 100 mini hints. I guess it's not like, it's transparent insiders, should we say. It's not like his friends and his mum and dad in the token. No developer allocation, no sniping, no pre-sale. I mean, these are all awesome if your goal is the fairest launch. But if your goal is the biggest launch in the world, I feel like Trump did it really well. Now, did he have insiders? Maybe. We're actually going to do an investigation on the first 100 wallets and see if there was some form of connection to them. However, the bull market is really quick and hectic, and the narrative's already really moved on, so we might not be doing that unless you guys really want it. But this hit an $80 billion market cap, and there was no airdrop. There was no fair launch. It was legit just like, here is the contract address. First come, first serve. And the nice thing about this was that you had people literally buying millions of dollars worth, like 3 million, 5 million, 1 million. People just absolutely aping this thing with crazy amounts of money. And if Becker is fair launching and whitelisting and giving you evenly dispersed allocations, you're not going to have crazy whales that can come in and buy $1 million or $500,000 or $100,000 like I probably would, because you get allocated a small amount just like everyone else. And now that everyone's got, and this is my sort of thought process and confusion on this, imagine if Trump had 15,000 or 10,000 people have a whitelist allocation. And as everyone's buying, you've got everyone who had that whitelist, those 15,000 people, all selling into the buys. Even though it seems more fair, to at least to those 10,000 people, it's a lot more sell pressure that's going on because people, one, they don't even have to buy these tokens in the first place. They're given to them, which means the token price is not getting pumped up by everyone who is whitelisted. And where I think Becker might be a little bit confused, and I'm curious on your thoughts, I'm open to being wrong on this, is basically how he launched his Neo Tokyo Citizens, which I was a part of this way back in 2021. Pretty crazy story there. We'd have to go into in this video. But this was his NFT project he launched with Ilio Trades, and it was one of the biggest projects at the time. there are only 2,000 NFTs that you could have got through solving his ciphers, getting on the whitelist, and then minting the NFT. And of that, there was probably like, say, 1,700 individual people that got them. And therefore, when people didn't get them and they became public, there was, I would say, 30,000 people that wanted them, and maybe 10% of these people were trying to sell. Why weren't they trying to sell? And this is a really big point. Well, because Becker promised future utility of these NFTs. By holding a Neo Tokyo Citizen, you knew you were going to get an airdrop of bytes coming up. You knew that there was going to be more to the story coming up. There was only a limited supply, 2,000 people, and everyone wanted to hold on to them. So say 10% of people, which or maybe 1,800 people, 180 were up for sale. With promised utility in the future, you had 5,000 people try to bid on these, which pumped it up to 150 ETH floor because the demand was there. The promise of utility in the future and the lack of supply drove these things through the roof. However, look at Becker's promise this time. I'm not doing shit or responsible for anything after it drops. He's going to go launch a bomb and go hide it in a bush and laugh. But it's like, okay, now people know that there's nothing upcoming. You're not making any promises. There's no utility. And therefore, you're not going to hold for very long. It's like, why would you hold for more than a day or two? By that time, everyone's heard about it. Everyone's bought it. And a lot of the early people are going to be taking their profit. And if you're like, well, what's Trump's promise? Because Trump just dropped the ticker into his Twitter and has said nothing about it. Didn't mention it even in his, I mean, if he mentioned his inauguration, it'd be absolutely the most craziest thing I've ever seen on top of him launching a meme coin. But he's made no mention of it. Eric Trump Jr. sort of retweeted and hinted at something here. Melania dropped it, but there's been no promise of future utility. So what's the difference? Why is this still leveled off and holding strong? Well, there's a lot of upcoming narratives that is serving the Trump coin well. One, he's the president of the United States, the biggest empire the universe has ever seen. He's in control of, and he's in control for 4 years, and he's a pro-crypto president, and he's going to be announcing a lot of things like Ross Ulbricht, pardoning him and getting him out of jail, and maybe a strategic Bitcoin reserve, and anything else that he wants to put into place. This coin is basically a bet on that, and you've got 4 years ahead of that. But if you look at something that doesn't have anything coming next, Chill Guy, which we talk about here on the channel a lot. Why? Because I sorted a $1.5 million market cap thanks to my friend. And then it pumped up. I think it hit an 800 mil market cap. But guess what? There's nothing that is keeping this TikTok narrative alive. Google Trends falls off a cliff. It's not this cool anymore. You know, TikTok trends come and go really quickly. And this thing is sank all the way down. It hit a $60 million market cap because people are like, wait, why are we still holding this? What's next? Mudang, again, a cute hippo was amazing at the time, $143 million market cap. It's bled out to a $38 million market cap because you're like, oh, what's next? People need a narrative and a promise of what's next, not to think that you're going to be hiding in a bush and laughing because that's not great utility. Now, I might be wrong. And there might be people who get their allocation and aren't trying to sell. But that's why I pulled up Desync earlier too. They've got 50,000 holders and they've been out for almost a year now, 12 months. And Becker and Elio, I don't think's on it, but definitely Crypto Go John and the Wealth Group boys believe that this could be really the blue chip AI token taking Pal's position, being listed on centralized exchanges like Binance, and they've still only got 47,000 holders. If you're giving 10,000 holders free tokens and they don't have to buy them and they don't have to pump the price, I mean, how many holders really are going to be getting into Becker's meme coin? I would predict 20 to 40,000 max. And if you've got 10,000 of them dumping their tokens, that's a big tidal wave to have to deal with. And the buy pressure is not going to be that crazy because this is the last personal thought that I had. Trump, if we go to 1 hour candles here and we have a look back at Trump's launch, I was playing Trump's launch skeptically and very hesitantly. But what happens is as soon as there's one big pullback, that's when people get scared. But until there's a big pullback, this thing just kept building and building. There was no pullback all the way up until here. Once it had a big pullback, that's when it really calmed down a bit and started trending sideways and people were all of a sudden skeptical. But people don't understand market caps. They don't understand tokenomics. And it was just going up and up and up. And people were saying I made millions. People saying I made 6 figures. But even people making a couple grand and telling their friends, everyone wanted to get in until the headlines change. And with Becker, I think all it takes is one big red candle to put an end to the entire party. Now, I've been a bit of a negative Nancy. That is my skepticism. I'm curious what your thoughts are, but this thing could also blow up. And if you're early, and I'm actually trying to train an AI agent at the moment to scour Becker's Twitter looking for forms. I'm going to be practicing on another person's Twitter at the moment. And as soon as it sees a link to a form, it's going to automatically submit my details and a Solana wallet or an alias of mine, just in case Becker's watching this or people get back to him. And so that it can automatically whitelist me so I don't have to wake up all night. And I think that will get me a big allocation. The other way to do it is watching the contract once you know what the contract address is and actually buying some of this. If it does 2, 3, 4x, you could turn, the liquidity will be there. You could probably buy 6 figures worth and 3 to 4x it. I should say I probably could, because this is, again, a personal choice. I'm okay to lose it all, but it's possible it could be a good bet to make. If he tweaks it and has buy pressure actually coming in from these 10,000 people, that's when I think this thing could do absolute crazy numbers and make me potentially 7 figures. Now, if you're not in our inner circle and you do think this meme coin hunt is going to be massive, we have a Telegram group that is dedicated to solving the riddles and ciphers to get us allocation ahead of everybody else. And also, of course, we have our whale tracker set up, which is where we track people like Alex Becker's Twitter, wallets, and portfolio to see if he's buying or selling any new tokens, so you can get in way before he promotes it to the mainstream. So welcome to all the smart people who are joining just before the super cycle really goes to that euphoric level and things are printing millions at every corner you look at. If you'd like to join us, link in the description below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.